Hey guys, Streaming Iraq War Veteran here, back with another video. This is actually going to be the differences between a Dell proprietary motherboard and a custom motherboard that you can buy off the shelf. I decided to do it this way because people are sleeping and I don't want to be loud. But I just want to make sure I have decent audio real quick. Alright, cool. I do. Alright, now, the first thing I'd like to point out, this is the motherboard out of my Dell GTX, or my Dell XPS 8930. And the first thing I do want to point out is, like I said, these power phases. I'll talk about them here in a second. But as you can see on the left, that was my board. This is the one I currently have. And as you can see, these squares are your power phases. I'm not sure exactly on every detail on how they work, but I know they're the power phases, and they're related to how you can overclock and how much power can go to your CPU. This one has a 4 and a 2, or a 6, however you want to say it nowadays, because I've heard it said both ways. Now, with this 6, with my new board that I have in my new system, 6 is just on the left side. I have 5 more up on top, so this would be a 6x5 power phase delivery system, or 11, however you want to put it. So that means I can get much better overclocks with this motherboard. It's made for overclocking. Now, another part of that overclocking process is how many CPU pins, well, not pins, but how many power pins it has, or whatever you want to call it, the CPU plug. The Dell board here only has a 4-pin connector. Now, the board that I got, which is a Dell or MSI Edge, as you can see there, MPG Edge AC, it has a 4 and an 8-pin connector. So that means with this board, I know this board is capable of 350 watts of power to the CPU for overclocking. I don't know how much you could get out of this. I don't even think it's a real good board at all for overclocking. I've said that since day one. Another thing right around the CPU that you can see clearly, the new board has heat sinks by the power phases, or the power delivery. I guess these are MOSFETs maybe, or these are. I'm not an expert. I know what I know, that's it. Either one of these are MOSFETs. I'm not sure which one is which. Um, but you can see this board has nothing. To Dell's credit though, they are using solid caps just like on the custom board, but you still don't know the quality of the ones that the Dell uses, but at least they're using solid caps nowadays, so that's a plus for them. They both have 4 um, RAM slots, but the other difference with this board, the Dell board, compared to my custom board, is the fact that the max RAM that this can go up to, because it does not support XMP or anything like that, is 2666 megahertz. This board I think can go all the way up to like 5,000 or something. I don't need to look it up, but regardless, that's a lot. Now, another major difference with these, the I/O on this board wasn't too bad. It does have a Type C, a not a USB, an HDMI out on the board itself. This one has more. I can tell you, it has Wi-Fi, which this one does not. This one has the three plug for audio. This one has 6. Now, speaking of audio, audio is always in the lower left-hand corner of motherboards. On the Dell board, you can see right here that this is the audio chip, or what I'm guessing is the audio chip. I don't see anything else over here. As you see on this one, it's got this huge audio boost chipset here, plus whatever that is. That's actually audio related too, because when I installed the stuff, yeah, Nuvoton or some crap like that, and audio boost. These are your audio. It's a much more robust audio solution on a custom board. So you'll get better audio out of it. But don't get me wrong, the Dell board did have good sound. It's not like it was crappy, and most of the time I was using headphones, so it didn't matter anyways. Another major difference between these boards is you have a much more robust um, selection of like fan headers, USB headers, and stuff like that than you would on a Dell board. The Dell board has a total of, yeah, there was no fan headers at the bottom at all. There is only two. This one up here and the CPU fan. There was no extra headers for fans on this board at all. Granted, you could go with a Molex connector adaptation from like a SATA to Molex and then plug it into a fan. But this case that this board came in had no room for any expansion for fans. This one here has three down here. There's a fan there, so that's four. Fan there, it's just six. This is a pump header for AOIs, or AIOs, all-in-ones, coolers. Here's another one, so that's like six. I think it has six dedicated fan headers. Um, this had a card reader one and one USB 3 right there. I'm not, that might have been a USB also. This one has that USB right there. There's one there, another one here. So there's two, three, four. So more than double the USB headers. Not to mention support for 4-pin or 3-pin RGB strips. This board, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Another major difference with these boards, as you're looking right here, this is the chipset, the Intel chipset. This one has a heat shield over it. The Dell board does not. What other major differences? Besides this board's just a green board and this one's a black board with some design on it. I mean, that's not much of anything to really deal with or care about because, you know, it's just design. You're not going to see it as much in the inside unless you have a lot of RGB that's really freaking bright. Another major difference with these boards, this one's smaller, this one's an ATX board. Major difference is all the PCI slots or all the expansion slots regardless are plastic on this one. The custom board has two that are armor sleeved, which means they just have metal around them, so it helps to prevent sag. And it looks like on this one, it's maybe that's a board number, I don't know. What else can I think of? Oh, here's another major difference for the audio. I don't know if you guys know about this. But if I zoom in over here, this line here that you see coming along here, going this way and up, that's actually to isolate this audio chip from the rest of the board so it doesn't get any interference and you get better sound quality. No board that comes from a system builder will ever be isolated audio. Sometimes these will come lit up, but mine does not, which is fine, don't care. But that is an isolated audio. That might be an amplifier, and that's the main audio, one of the two. Another major difference with these boards is the Dell board comes with one full size, well, almost full size, one M.2 slot that takes up to a 2280. The Dell one, or the Dell one is a 2280. This board can take the next size up. I don't know if there's any actually longer than that. 2280 is right here. I don't know what size that would be, like 32, 34 or something. I don't know. But anyways, it can take more and it has two slots of them. Granted, this computer, the Dell board, also has an M.2 slot over here, but this is just for Wi-Fi. That's why it's smaller. You could possibly still put like a smaller M.2 SSD in there if you wanted to. I don't know how well that would work. I think I killed this board anyways, to tell you the truth, by accident. When I was cleaning it out, and you see all this thermal paste, I took some um, damn it, rubbing alcohol and put it on a toothbrush, and I was cleaning the top of the CPU before I took it out and just splattered it everywhere. And then if I zoom in a little bit more, you might be able to see it, but I think oh, maybe I didn't. Well, I might have bent like a pin or two. I mean, I could probably get in there if I had like a really good microscope and bend it back up, but I'm not too concerned on this board. I was tired of the setup, tired of being restricted by everything that this board was lacking. What else is a major difference that I could think of? Besides reliability, you're going to get much more reliability out of this. Um, I can't really think 100% of anything else more, honestly. Oh, one major thing, yes, I do, is with all these Dell motherboards, you can never put them in an off-the-shelf case, and this is why. If you look at these hole patterns, they're not the same anywheres. These are all made just to fit Dell cases. You could put it in another Dell case, it might be better for it, but then the other problem is you'll never have a heat shield because most Dells, except for maybe the Alienware, come with a solid piece of metal back there for the heat shield. Or not the heat shield, the I/O shield. You can't remove it. So you'd have to cut out that section for the new motherboard, or for the new case, new Dell case if you got one that wasn't meant for this board. So that's another major problem. I don't know what that one is, but the other board does not use these type of whatever the hell it is. Might be these, but I don't know. They look like more power phases. Oh, here's another major difference. Major difference. If you come over here, you don't see any kind of lights for like debugging or telling you what problems your computer has, like either your RAM's not seated correctly or whatever like that. Shit like that. But this board does. And all good custom boards will. This one here has two ways of showing you that things are working. As you can see here, Easy Debug LED, which is right here. It tells you what's wrong. I guess one of them will light up if something's bad or not working quite right. And then over here, you can't see them very well, but behind each one of these pegs for the RAM, there's actually a light in there behind it that is lit up when the RAM is properly seated and working correctly, which I think was really cool. They're a little bit bright and they're just white. You can't turn them off that I've found out yet, but that's okay. I don't mind so much. Anything else? Not that I can think of. Not that I can think of. Besides, sometimes you get RGB, which I don't really care about that. I know my build has a lot of RGB in it right now, but that's okay. This is to make up for the $4,000 computer I lost years ago. But anyways, I'm not sure what this is for. I'll show you here. I'm not sure what this is for at all. It's something for USB. I don't know if that's what you use for like BIOS updates or what. If you don't have it in a case, maybe like on a test bench where you don't have I/O stuff and you're just jumping the board. But maybe that's what that's for. That would make sense to me. And they both have the 24 pin main power, so that's good too. But other than that, I really can't think of anything extra to talk about for major differences between Dell boards and off-the-shelf custom boards. But like I said, this is the board that I got, and it's in my computer. Sorry about that. After so long, the headset turns off if it doesn't hear anything in the actual earphone or headphone thing. But other than that, like I said, I can't think of anything else. You're just getting all around better everything with a custom board. Alright, guys, I am the Stream Interact War veteran, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a good one.